Jurassic World The Game is a game of decisions. We make thousands throughout every playthrough, which creatures to max out, which decorations to place, even what events to do. Making the right ones is every player's quest. But that just means avoiding the wrong decisions is just as, if not even more important. Whether you're a beginner, a mid-game player, or even an experienced veteran, there are small mistakes that you could be making right now that are jeopardizing your parks. So that begs the question, what exactly are these mistakes, and how should you avoid them? Well, worry not, because in this video I'll be covering 10 Jurassic World The Game mistakes that you should all avoid. When you first begin a Jurassic World The Game profile, it's really tempting to do as much as you possibly can. Leveling up that Triceratops to level 20 right away, opening that mystery pack. There are simply so many little please click me's in the game that are just so tempting to click on. But what if I told you that resisting these can benefit you greatly? You see, in the early levels there are many missions that ask for things like opening a pack, activating the food harbor, or leveling up a dinosaur. Since you'll have very few creatures and packs are really hard to come by, knowing how to do exactly enough to get as many missions done as possible is very important. I recommend only doing what is required of you until at least level 8 where you unlock the event battles. This should be achievable on your very first day if you play it smart. This tip isn't only for the ultra early game though. Even in later stages, doing things like keeping a bit of DNA for spending on mission creatures and not selling every single unused building in case they show up in a mission is still a viable strategy. Another mistake many early game players make is max activating the food harbor. As you add more activations to the food harbor, the amount of food produced remains the same, but the number of coins required for that activation increases exponentially. This means that per coin, you're getting less and less food the more you activate that harbor. In the later stages, when you're producing tens of millions of coins every collection, this won't matter at all, but while you're still trying to stockpile, I recommend activating as few times as possible. Doing this will save you as many coins as you can while keeping your food production level pretty much the same. The single most important resource in Jurassic World The Game is time, and nothing costs time like hatching a strong creature. Legendary creatures will occupy a slot in your hatchery for a few days, super legendaries for weeks. If you accidentally leave one of these in the free slot, it becomes disastrous for your park since you're forced to do one of three things. 1. Not hatch anything at all for that whole week. 2. Spend $10 each time you want to hatch something to run the second incubator. Or 3. Speed up the creature hogging the slot for hundreds or even thousands of bucks. Of course, nobody wants to do any of these things, so the best option is to try your best to have longer hatching time creatures as far to the right as possible from the free incubator. This way you can spam hatch common and rare creatures in these incubators while the legendaries cook up. Doing this will improve the efficiency of your park tremendously, helping you get stronger faster. Loyalty points is honestly such an underrated system in Jurassic World The Game. You can earn points from opening packs at any level in the game, and everyone can work towards the same goal, opening one of the packs in this store right here. But it's very easy to get lost in the sheer variety of choices here. What packs should you buy? The solid gold packs, the creature packs, or maybe even the building or decoration packs? Buying the wrong thing could be a serious waste of your points, so here is what I would do at every stage of the game. In the early game, you're going to spend 100% of your VIP points on solid gold packs. They are the cheapest packs that contain VIP creatures, among the strongest in the game of course, and getting solid gold packs is the way for you to get these creatures as quickly as possible. When you get enough of the VIP creatures to make several level 40s of many species, it's time to start thinking about the 20,000 point specific creature packs. If you stockpile enough points, you can max out each remaining creature as it comes around in the cycle. After this point, when you have everything maxed, your loyalty points can be spent on anything you like, but I do recommend, if you can, to buy the clock tower pack whenever it is available. This is the best decoration in the game and a must have for the very best coin farms. Allocating your loyalty points like this can help you maximize their benefit at every stage of the game. Auto win is one of the newest features in Jurassic World The Game. Basically, in recurring event battles, you can choose to use a lineup far stronger than your opponents to instantly complete the battle without coming in to actually fight. In the late stages of the game, auto win is an amazing feature because it lets most players do far more battles than they usually would in a much shorter amount of time. However, if your roster depth isn't good enough, overly relying on auto-win can yield far worse results than simply doing the battles normally. You see, to successfully auto-win, you must field creatures far stronger than the enemy. As an early to mid-game player, you might only have 6 or 7 creatures in this range. Trying to auto-win every event will leave your roster barren, actually stopping you from completing as many battles as you could normally. I would suggest only using auto wins on days when you really don't feel like committing to a battle session, or when the event's battles are so bad that you wouldn't do them anyways. By limiting how much you use auto win, you'll get far more out of your creature roster, making it far quicker to transition to the later stages of the game. I'm sure each and every one of us has at least 100 fountains lying in our inventories, relics of the good old days when they were the only decorations we could afford for creature farms. Surely leaving them in there is no big deal, right? Wrong! Having all of these low value structures clogging up your inventory is actually harming one of the most important features in the game, your trades. As I've mentioned before in my trade harbor guide, which you should totally check out by the way, when a new trade is generated that requires a structure, it will never ask for something that you don't have. That means if you only have fountains, you will only get trades requesting fountains, and if you only have Apatosaurus fossils, then the same applies. Now when we consider that a fountain costs like 1,000 coins and an Apatosaurus over 1,000,000, well, let's just say there's a slight gap in the amount of bucks and DNA you get from trading one versus the other. In order to optimize your trades, the only thing in your inventory should be the most valuable of decorations, and thus having all of these trash items left over will stop you from getting all the resources you deserve. My recommendation is to take some time to place down all of the really low value decoration and buildings in your inventory and selling them all. I know it will take a ton of time, but once you finish, your resources will thank you. Bucks, the most revered resource in the game. Obtaining and stockpiling as many bucks as possible seems to be the way so many players like to operate. But I raise you one question. What is the point of bucks if not for spending? There are many ways to spend bucks in Jurassic World The Game, and spending your hard-earned cash on the right things could really change what your playthrough looks like. The first way I'd recommend to spend bucks is to look through the market for deals. We're searching for creature deals that give you flocks for about a couple thousand bucks. If you are an early game player, and only if, I would for sure take these trades, because who knows when you'll be able to get your hands on a flock creature that makes your life so much easier. As you get more used to the battling system, I would now recommend to spend your bucks on gyrospheres. Special gyrosphere tours occur once in a while that can give you an amazing amount of DNA, amber, and other resources for winning. If you're confident enough to take on several of these tours, it's almost trivial to farm up tens of thousands or even hundreds of thousands of DNA. Usually each good gyrosphere will set you back about 1,000 bucks, so make sure you have those saved up for then. The point is, as long as you have enough bucks to do any tournaments you wish to participate in or speed up the creatures that you really don't want to wait for, why not spend them? You can't take them out of the game and turn them into real life cash after all. PvP is one of the most neglected aspects of Jurassic World The Game simply because it is slow and boring. I mean, I get it, I don't do PvP either, but this bit of lethargy actually costs us a whole wealth of resources. If you didn't already know, modded PvP is the single greatest and most reliable source of SDNA in the game. By using creatures strong enough to reach the elite prize wheel, you can get tons of SDNA in very little time. To best make use of modded PvP, you'll need to have a coin farm strong enough to churn out mods every day and a whole lot of dedication to the game. If you can do that though and spend a little bit of time every day doing PvP battles, consider all of your super hybrid problems gone. If you're at a stage where making many hybrids and super hybrids is the MO, you'll want to make sure to get the most out of your Code 19s. They're a great source of free DNA and super DNA after all. At this point, it's fair to assume that you have a lot of enclosures just sitting around in your park to collect coins. Well, what if I told you that keeping them there is a big mistake? You see, Code 19 spawn randomly on only the enclosures placed in your park so long as you have more than 10. If we combine this with the fact that the rewards from Code 19s are taken from the rarity of the creature and the ferocity within the enclosure, it's easy to see that the correct play is to only have your strongest and most powerful creatures on the field to better farm Code 19s. Since now you should be able to point where the max decoration farms are possible, the hit your coin production takes will not outweigh the positive effect it will have on the rewards you get from Code 19s, given you're active enough to do multiple every day. Optimizing your Code 19 farming should allow you to get double or even triple the DNA and SDNA you'd get normally, letting you get those expensive creatures and super hybrids much more efficiently. If you'd like a full guide on how to set up your parks for this, let me know in the comments below. And finally, well, perhaps I left this one a little late, but that's because it's a purely cosmetic mistake. The single rarest decoration in Jurassic World The Game's ultra late game is the uncleared trees. When you begin the game, there are so many of these that nobody hesitates to expand everything right away, but later on, so many players end up regretting that decision since there's no way to get them back. Keeping a plot or two of trees that you've never expanded is a neat little way to make your park look cooler, and is for sure something that you should consider if you plan on going to the very end. So, those were the 10 biggest mistakes that Jurassic World The Game players make and how you can avoid them. Was there anything that I missed, or do you have any suggestions for other guides that I should make? Let me know in the comments down below. If you found this guide helpful, please do consider liking and subscribing since it supports my channel a lot. And as always, I've been Soundrak and I'll see you all in future streams and videos. Bye!